Venom The Last Dance is the last part of the trilogy of Venom with Tom Hardy. And to be honest, this franchise is not something I am excited about the most, but it is always fun to watch. This is actually the first movie in the franchise I watch in the theater and not catch it on TV cables. And I like it. I have fun with it. And even though I will definitely forget about it soon, but fun is still fun. Nice. Is this movie a good one? No, absolutely not. The plot is overly complicated, needlessly expanded storylines, and too many characters, some jokes that are not very good, and distracting banters that should be cut out for a more cohesive storyline. Normally, I am not the type to pay attention to things like art placement, but this movie truly shoves it down on your head to make sure the art burnt in your mind. It is sad to think about this. I barely remember the plot of the movie, but can still vividly remember how both uncomfortable and amused at the same time when the obvious product placement in the movie shoved in my face. All it needed is Tom Hardy looking directly at the camera and said, "For today's sponsors of this movie, Crocs and Knights for the best shoes," and I will burst out. There was also these weird changes of tone for the two-thirds of the movie, where one moment we have a serious work-dooming threat over our head, and the next we saw Venom pulls out a hilarious stunt and dance number to have fun that made me scratch my head. I was confused that am I supposed to take the threat of the movie seriously or not? Cause the signal is all over the place and I don't know which one to take. Because of that, the third arc could be considered the best arc of the movie when it completely focused on one storyline and not divided its time jumping between points. But even then, I still find it slightly lackluster. There are some characters that I spend quite some time with, but then have no satisfying conclusion. I just feel weird to place them in there in the first place. Like the two scientists in the movie, when the blonde lady has quite a developed backstory and significant screen time, but at the climax fight of the movie, she was shoved out behind and let the other one shine until the very last moment and then her arc concluded. I kept asking myself the whole time when she was in here, is that really necessary for her to appear in this movie? Do we need to elaborate that much on her backstory? She is already a side character with not much tie to Venom. Why do we spend so much time with this character only to not let her shine in the climax fight but somebody else? The movie did let her have a glimmer of spotlight in the very end, but it did not feel earned but forced. The same with her family that Eddie made on the road. Do we need to spend that much time with them? I get that we need to have them to show the audience Eddie's longing for family and normalcy, but do we really need to spend so much time singing a whole song? Detective Mulligan was dragged from the previous movie only to be an exposition machine and then die. It's just weird and wasteful. So many plotline and character could have been cut out from this movie. It might not make the movie better, but it will make it shorter and less bloated. But again, all those flaws could be completely compensated by Tom Hardy's incredible acting skill and charisma, and how the film perfectly portrays an interesting and heartfelt friendship between Venom and Eddie. These two feel like lifelong friends, caring deeply for each other and willing to die for one another. Even though there was a moment of anger and disappointment between them caused by the stressful situations, all those feelings were overcome because of their bond. This is one thing that the Venom franchise did the best. It might not have the best plot or CGI or interesting villain, but the chemistry and relationship portrayed between the two main leads is always extremely well done. And to be honest, when I came back for Venom The Last Dance after the first two movies, I didn't expect much that they would fix the overarching convoluted plot or the glaring plot holes, inconsistent world building, and mediocre show. I care more about the journey of Eddie and Venom, their tumultuous relationship, and how their story ended. And the movie concluded it nicely with a final tribute scene for the memory of the trilogy. Venom The Last Dance is not a good movie, not by a long shot, but it is a fun movie, and it gave me quite a good time and my expectation was met. Can't say the same about Joker, Folie à Deux. So that is my personal opinion. What do you think?